Hi, welcome to Candid Coach Conversations. I'm Kimberly, founder of Live Life Fully, and today I have with me certified Live Life Fully coach, Savannah.
Hey, thank you so much for having me back.
So I know that you and I have been talking lately about being ready and waiting to be ready. And so I've thought more about our conversations, and I would love to hear from you today about the whole stop waiting to be ready and how to stop waiting to be ready.
Goodness, that is such a great topic. And it's so important because the longer you wait, the more that passes you by. And it is so much about living life fully. It really is. And for me, it took earning my confidence or getting my confidence by looking at what I wanted to accomplish, how I wanted to accomplish, how I wanted to show up for me, for my family, for my friends, for my loved ones. And once I finally realized just how important all of that is to me, I finally said, okay, enough's enough. I've got to get out there and I've got to do this. The embarrassment doesn't matter. The fear doesn't matter. All of that serves now as motivation. So I still have that stopping point sometimes. And I then have really great people in my life who say, okay, Savannah, let's talk about what's stopping you. What is holding you back? And that's when I take a look at the hard things and I say to myself, I'm the one holding me back. Me, only me.
Okay, so then what I'm hearing is like if you're going to work on something or you want to do something, maybe it's a goal or a dream, a project, a task, and then you know what you want to do and yet you stop. And you're saying, like you've been stopping. What I think I'm hearing is that you've been stopping because you want to make sure you're ready.
Right.
And you want to have everything just so. And so to stop waiting, that fear or the embarrassment or the uncertainty, you've decided to use that as fuel to push you?
I have.
Okay. And so I don't know. I guess I want to know how. Like, if you recognize that you've got fear or there's uncertainty or this whole thing about, oh, it's so embarrassing. Like, how do you turn that into fuel?
I look at the others that came before me. So in business coaching, the person that we're using to help us with our business coaching, she made the comment of, I'm afraid that people are going to take a look at me and say, okay, she's too overweight. Well, that's something that I've struggled with, and I've used that in the past, and it still didn't work out. So it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter what I look like. It matters the content. It's kind of like what MLK said, not the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I have a lot of really good things to say. I have a lot of really good things to offer. And if I wait until my hair is the right length, or my hair is the fluffiest, or my skin is the clearest, or I'm down X amount of pounds, I will be waiting for the rest of my life to begin. I'm not getting any younger. And I finally decided, doesn't matter. Do the first thing. So I have found that I've started putting out my newsletters. I put out a newsletter once a week on Wednesdays, and I thought, how can I reach more? So I've started scheduling them to go out on Facebook, and I'm finding that I'm getting more feedback, and I'm getting feedback from people that I didn't know were actually reading them. Yes, my husband's cousin, when we saw each other earlier, I guess it was late last year after my father-in-law passed, she told me, she said, Savannah, she's like, I love your daily affirmations, basically what I was putting out on Facebook. And I said, well, thank you. I said, I didn't realize anybody was actually looking at those. And she said, oh no, I look at them every day. I just don't comment. I was like, well, that makes me feel so good. Thank you so much. That gives me motivation to continue to do it. And I'm no longer doing the daily affirmations. I'm doing the weekly newsletters that have more information. And it's a little bit of me that I give to others. It's a little bit of wisdom that I give to others. And it's no longer embarrassing.
So I'm so curious, Savannah, what was embarrassing? Like before you started sending out your newsletter, it sounds like you wanted to do it. Something was there. You were hesitant. What was the embarrassing piece?
To be seen as not, I'm not going to say perfect because nobody's perfect, obviously. To be seen as someone thinking, well, how does she know anything? What does she know? I know my own life. I know the things that I can give to other people. I know the things that I can bring to other people through my own coaching, through my own, working with other coaches and listening and just gathering all this wonderful information that my voice matters. I matter. And that even if nobody else reads them, guess what? I don't care anymore. And people are reading them. And that feels awesome. My next one, I need to figure out how to schedule them on LinkedIn. That's what I need to figure out how to schedule them on LinkedIn, which is one of my goals for this week.
Okay.
So,
I love that. And I know that you said if nobody reads them, you don't care anymore. What I'm hearing though is that you actually do care.
I do.
And what I also hear, Savannah, listening to you is that by not waiting and by sharing your story, by putting yourself out there, for being vulnerable, sharing exactly what you said, your experiences, your coaching, your life. Although somebody may not have the exact circumstances and you're not telling them step by step what to do,
Right.
they may be able to gather gosh, that's something I could try, or I can relate to that. And then also what I'm hearing talking about caring is you do care and you have this awareness that your newsletter is probably not going to be for everybody in the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. The one that made the most impact for me and I think finally broke the dam was after our last conversation and putting out my newsletter, and I finally figured out how to do it onto Facebook, was putting my grief newsletter out on Facebook. And I had so many people reach out to me and say, wow, that I'm sorry for your loss. That was a very powerful story. Sounds like you're doing okay. I remember when this happened to me. So it became more of a community and a meeting of the minds and a meeting of the hearts.
I love that.
Yes. And that helped a lot because, shoot, this year, in the last 8 months, I've lost 4 people. So that one really kind of broke it for me. That one opened up the gates because I saw how much other people responded to it. And that really did say, okay, you can't keep this to yourself anymore. You can't. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the place.
Yes. I love that. And so you talk about taking the first step. So that first step toward overcoming the fear of embarrassment or fear in general.
Mm-hmm.
Tidbits that you can share about how to stop waiting for things such as cleaning out the closet or planting the garden. Although I think season may matter. I don't know exactly.
Yes. And with it, being as hot as the sun outside, that's a little difficult too. I recently had a moment like that. I needed to clean out the garage because we are getting some work done on the house. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to come in here and do any of the work. So I thought to myself, okay, so this is step 1 of what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to get up. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to have my breakfast. And then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And so I set my timer for 10 minutes and I said, and it was a big job. I'm going to take just the front stuff and I'm going to move it out of the way because I know the front stuff is stuff that we're going to keep. And that timer went off for 10 minutes and I thought, you know what? I'm not ready to stop. I've got my momentum going. I set the timer again for another 10 minutes.
Okay. I love that. So you got to choose like the standard, the minimum was going to be 10 minutes. And then you got to decide, I'm going to do an extra 10 and maybe time wouldn't have allowed. And so you would have stopped. But
Right.
Your goal was first step, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Because I have a goal of getting at least this side of the garage cleaned out to be able to move things if I need to. I was able to get another 10 minutes done and I said, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to cool off because it rained while I was doing this and it was swimming outside. So I sat down, I cooled off, I had some water, I just took a moment, and when my timer went off again, I then got up and I said, okay, so I'm setting it. This time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it for 15 minutes because 10 minutes was too short. 20 minutes was maybe a little too long. So I set it for 15. And I got everything that I wanted to get done in that 15 minutes. And the feeling of accomplishment and the feeling of I did that was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. And so I set the timer for another 5 minutes. I sat back down. I had some more water and I just kind of watched the world go by and I looked at the other stuff and I thought, okay, this is my plan. I want to move this. I'm going to do that. So I started planning it in my head. So when the timer went off, I didn't hesitate. I stood up and I set the timer again. I got back to work and I got everything that I wanted to get done and cleaned out that day.
That's amazing.
And I found 3 things that I wanted to sell on Facebook. One of them has already sold. If the other 2 don't get sold, they're going to Goodwill.
Yeah.
They're done.
That's
Done.
so good. And I love that. So, we always hear take one day at a time. And so you were taking 15 minutes at a time. I love that. That's a bite-sized piece.
It is.
And then the 15 minutes, it sounds like you were playing a beat the clock, like a game.
It kind of felt that way because I was like, okay, I only have 15 minutes, even though it was a self-imposed time clock.
Sure.
And that motivation to get it done, because to get it cleaned out, I can now walk through my garage and it makes bringing in groceries a whole lot easier. And B, this is something that had to be done for something that's going to better our family. That's going to, in the long run, it's going to save us hundreds of thousands of dollars. So now I've only gotten one side done. So this weekend, the goal is to get the other side done in preparation to be ready to go for Monday when they come to install the batteries.
Nice. Minus a tropical storm or some weird weather situation or who knows what's happening out in the world. But no, that's great. That is so good. It's so funny, Savannah, listening. Well, it's not funny. Not funny at all, actually. Thinking about my own life, like for so long. Okay, so I might have a touch of OCD sometimes, whatever.
I think we all do. It's good.
Okay, good. So, but for so long in my life, like honestly, I would know things that needed to be done. Let's go with laundry. Okay. Yes, it is like a dream to wash, dry, and fold without any hesitation.
Right.
Doing laundry. I don't really hate it, but I really don't like it very much. And it has that cute little song that goes off when the washer's finished and another cute song when the dryer's finished. And, I could be Johnny on the spot and get it done. And I don't always get it done in the order at the song playing time. And for years, if I couldn't have time or if I didn't think that I had time to start, wash, dry, and fold, I wouldn't start at all.
Yes.
I'd put it off. Well, good grief. Then I'd need like 2 whole days because that'd be so much laundry. So,
yes.
What I've realized is it's okay. This sounds so ridiculous to say out loud. And it is okay if I don't get them out of the dryer instantly. It's okay if I get them out of the dryer and don't fold them or hang them up for several hours.
Right.
Like that's one of many examples in my own life where I would put off doing the thing if I could not do it from start to finish all in one chunk. And I was getting in my own way. And so I had all these 15, 20-minute increments of time that were literally nothing. And it wasn't even, I know Winnie the Pooh says doing nothing is still doing something. And I agree with that. And if I think about productivity, like, well, I can't, this was my thinking, and I really don't like the words I can't, so I've changed that. But back then it was, I can't sit down to do the puzzle until I do the laundry, but I don't have time to start the laundry because I can't start it, wash, dry, fold, and put it away. And so all that thinking was a waste, really, of 15 minutes. And so once I took this, like a time audit, an audit of my time and where could I buy time back? It was really and truly coming to this understanding and this realization. It doesn't have to be perfect, like you said before. and I can do whatever I can within that time period. And if it doesn't get finished, it will be there when I come back.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
has freed up like a whole day within the day,
Yes.
literally.
Yes. Because you get analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
I just love that, the analysis paralysis. And I think we all suffer from it at some point or another with something, whether it's homework or, charting or
Yes.
preparing for something or cleaning something. We all have it. And not only that, what I have found is that analysis paralysis also brings on shame.
Mm.
And I am not going to live any more of my life surrounded by any kind of shame or put any kind of personalized shame because I waited or didn't do something that I wanted to do. Now is nobody's guaranteed a tomorrow.
Right.
Now is the time to do it. And if, like you said, if it doesn't all get done, it will still be there.
Yes.
It will still be there.
It will.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have laundry that still needs to be finished from yesterday. So it is still there.
Yeah. So
And
good.
I don't feel that heaviness anymore because I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to send out the newsletter. I'm going to do the cleanup in the garage. I'm going to do this. And that heaviness that heavy feeling of shame is not there anymore.
Yeah, I love that. Have you also found, this is something that I have found, when I didn't think I had time to do the whole thing at once, and then I put that aside, like, okay, so you don't get it all done at once, do what you can. Like you were talking about the timer, if I've got 15 minutes till I've got to leave, that beat the clock. What I found is I finish it within the time. So really, I don't have a lot of leftover. I think it's fascinating how our brain works in that way.
Yes.
I really do.
Yes. And I remember you saying, I can't remember, it was recently, I remember you talking about how our brain is what we tell it, or our thoughts, and if you tell yourself, I can't, then yeah, you certainly can't.
That's right.
I can, I get to, I am able to, I'm able to start this and finish it.
Yes.
Maybe not finishing it. You're not putting a time limit on when you're finishing it. You just said finish it.
Right.
So that could be, writing a book or writing, a planner or writing your notes or writing a newsletter. Sometimes life gets in the way and it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
It is okay. So bottom line, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting because you only have 10 minutes.
Right.
10
Stop
minutes.
waiting for life to begin.
Right.
And start.
Start.
Yes. Because there's so much to live. There's so much to do. And we all have the same amount of time. Hopefully.
We do. And a friend of ours has talked about, how many does she say we have? 100 and what does she say?
168, isn't it?
I think so.
Something close to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. And when you take out all of the sleeping and the eating and the driving and, the bathroom and, everything that you have to do, yes, we are all left with the same amount. So what do you want to do with it? Do you want to live and experience, or do you want to sit and wait and not experience anything?
I think I want to live.
Me too. That's kind of how we went to Germany a couple of years ago, because it was we want to travel. Yeah. And something was said that, oh, this is our favorite band's last touring thing. So we said, you know what? We're going. Now, granted, I was not going to the same thing that my husband went to, and that's okay. That is okay. But we did not hesitate. We did not say, well, let's wait until we save up enough money. No, we started planning. And that was the most amazing trip I've ever been on in my entire life. I mean,
love it. So y'all made the decision. Like, you knew you wanted to go, and you didn't say, well, we'll have to wait because we've got to do all this. You said, no, we're going.
Right.
And we'll figure out how to make it happen. Like, we are going to figure out how to make it happen. And y'all
absolutely. And we did.
I love it.
We did. And 14 days of travel and places that I never thought I'd see and food that was amazing and company that was great.
That's so good.
Ugh, I think I walked 2 inches off my legs, but I'm not really sure. And it was, yes, there was no hesitation. There was no waiting until the time was right. It's kind of like when you have a baby. There's never a good time to have a baby. You just have a baby.
Right.
And so, and they're loved and they're perfect in your eyes and you don't wait. It's the same thing for living. Don't wait. Don't wait to start the thing until
Yes.
the time is right or until you are right or the situation is right or the weather is right.
Take the one step.
Absolutely. Don't think, just do. Like
Yeah.
Magnet says. So, yes.
Oh my gosh, Savannah. Well, thank you for coming today and sharing
Thank
with
you.
us. I agree. It's time to stop waiting to feel ready. You're already ready.
Hmm.
Make the step.
Absolutely. Well,
So
thank you
good.
so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Yes. Thank you. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. And
Yes.
thank y'all for logging in and listening to Candid Coach Conversations. Remember to live life fully and enjoy every moment. We'll see you soon.